When's it going to be live?
Hi guys, I'm Sebastian. I want to talk to you now about a very awesome MVC library called candidates. So I would just like to do a little intro, show you some features of the library, tiny little demo, and then explain why you should try it. So you probably heard about this library called JavaScript MVC, which has been around for a while, since 2008 exactly. So it's quite a big library. It has a lot of components, and it takes a while to understand and use it. So the people behind this library, they decided that they are going to split it in different parts. So they took all the MVC parts of just the MVC and created candidates. So that's just the MVC part of that. And the plan is that they are going to put all that in MVC. And that's people MVC free, but you can use it by itself. So Node.js is a very traditional MVC framework in a way. You have a view which publish events, and you have a controller that's listening for the events on the view. Then the controller modifies the model, and the view itself is listening for the events in the model. So, yeah, quite traditional in a way. It's a good thing, because many people understand that. So I'll show you some features, how it looks like. So, you have a construct, that's the basic object, that in Bamboo you have something very similar to that where you can use the subject to create inheritance and other objects. And from there, you have an observable object, which is like just an object that you can listen to, observe, and bind for events. You have the model, which is an observable object with some extra behavior, like RESTful behavior, like sending stuff to the server. You have route, which is just an observable object that you use to listen to change the route and listen to changes in the route. Then you have the control, that's like sort of a controller, mostly. And finally, you have a view, which can be Stash or EGS. So, sorry, if you have any questions, just feel free to interrupt. Just raise your hand. So that's Node.js itself. It's a small library. So there's not a lot of stuff you need to know. And that's really a good thing. Because when you see this, that's all there is really. There is not a lot of stuff like in other libraries that you need to get your head around. So it's quite easy to learn. So this is how the structure looks like. Just you have a new method, and when you create a new instance, the new method is gone. You can use that. You don't use this much in the code, but you could use it like possibly if you want to do inheritance. Everything else, takes from this. So an observable object in Node.js, you just create this object where you just pass the properties that you want to observe. So select, for example, show save, like a couple of things that you want to observe. And then you just bind those properties. So you just say, I don't know, and select the changes, and just pass the folder. And you set attributes in Node.js, like using this attribute accessor thing. Yeah, very common. Like, I think that one is the same, and Ember does exactly something like that. Then the models, which is just like an observable object, which plus all these RESTful endpoints. So you just say that find all, you go here and create, you go there, so you just define your routes, like where to keep the server. So this is how we create a model. Just create a new name of the model and pass the parameter, the attributes you want, and you create a collection like this listing, and you just pass all the attributes, like all the models you want, And that the list is also an observable collection, so you can also listen to changes on the collection itself, like I things and removing things. So the views. So the views is just this. You have a view which you have a template. I will show you the template later. And then you just pass some bindings, an object with bindings. So in this case, I just want to say that the libraries is binding these libraries, and these are observable list. So it will just do when you add something to the list, it will just the view itself will just change. It's all automatic. You don't have to do anything, and you just append that view wherever you want it to go. So as the template, you can use CGS, which is embedded JavaScript. And well, we don't use CGS because we use TRB on the server, so it just conflicts like how with CGS. So we use Mustache, but we could use that. The benefit of EGS is that you can add any kind of logic in there. That for example, if something equals something that you can add all the JavaScript logic in there. You think that's a good thing? So, or you can use Mustache, which sounds cleaner to me. So in this case, for example, we are saying that for all the libraries, I wanna loop here, and let's explain the name of the library.
Syntax.
And it's like if false thing, like if this is true, show this, or it wasn't shown. So the controllers looks a lot like just like a constant thing, but the only difference is that you pass an element to a controller. So it's like the controller is attached like to an element, sort of like Angular thing. You listen to events in the controller by using this syntax here. It's like a gateway delegate. That you say the class of the element, we're going to say, and the event click, and when you do that, whatever is in here happens. Other things you get in kind of validations. Dirty attributes, for example, like in a model, you change stuff and then you decide later that you don't want that stuff anymore. You hit cancel, so you just have a way of reverting back to the old state. You have fixtures, which is like instead of hitting if you are building an application just the front end, and instead of hitting the server, you just provide some fixtures, and that will hit the fixtures instead, like will give you the information back instead of the server. You have all the handlebar helpers, which are in the view which you can use for things like transformations and filters. I'll show you a little. I'll show you a little demo. Very simple, very simplistic really. Just to give you an idea of how it looks like, how everything fits together. So, yeah, we just have a page that loads a bunch of libraries in here, and I just can add a random one from an array I have, or I can delete them. So, let me show you. Let's start with the HTML. So we have an element here, which is just an empty element where everything, all this template that is in here is going to go inside. So this is a mustache template. So here, let's go. Okay. Kind of move this out.
Maximum.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of items, and just saying, give me the items names. So that's what you say. That's what you see here on the for order. Then there's this is the loop that loops through the items, and for each item, just print an image with the image source. And then here I have a data item because I need to retrieve the item later when I click, for example, like the remove button. And a class, just a class that I need to be able to listen to the event on the button. The touch by itself is really simple. It's just like interpolating text strings like source, like putting the source there, and it's quite simple to use. So in the application, I have a model in here, which is in my item, with the RESTful endpoints. And these are just an array of random libraries to add, and you click the add random button. So here, this is my control definition of this. And here I'm initializing the controller and just passing the element where the controller, this element here, where the controller, this element here, where all templates going to go. So I just create out a new list of items, then I hit the server with a find all in here. When I get the items back from the server, I just put these items into the list that I created before. Then I get the template that in my HTML, and pass this object as a binary. And append the template to the node. And I just show you what's happening in the remove here. And this is the way I listen for events, like just saying for anything that has class button remove click, when the event click, I just get the item back from the data attribute on the element and just destroy it. And it's just going to do the right thing. It's just going to send the request to the server, get some result back, remove the item from the view, and just works. So you probably want to know why. Why you should try CAN, having things like ML backbone and Angular. Yeah. Why this one is great. I will start with the learning curve. Yeah. So this is a very subjective comparison based on my experience, but I still feel that it's a good indication, especially if you haven't used any of this. So backbone, I started with backbone, like many other people, and it's given that the basics are quite easy, but then you have this thing that doesn't have any opinions about anything, and you have to research a lot, look at tutorials, and how to do things, and I found that confusing, and also I found that confusing that I have to bind the events and render the view myself and bind the events when I'm done with this and all that kind of thing. Like just found it what is this? What are you doing this? So and then the solution of that on backbone is go and learn something else. Go learn Marionette or Thorax, and just a bunch of other libraries on top of backbone. And I just found that okay, more confusing. Like why am I learning this? Why am I doing all this? So might be different for you, but yeah, that was my experience. Then with Ember is a great library, but it takes a while. It takes some time to learn it well, and to know how to use it. So it's quite a steep learning curve before you can actually do something useful with it. And yeah, it's very interesting, but yeah, that's the way it is. doing that. So the last thing I've been learning is Angular. I've been using Angular, and it has a very, wow factor at the beginning, like, you just put these things together, the controller, and these bindings, and the thing, it's amazing. Wonderful how you get all these two-way bindings and all that. But you're past that point, and you're like, like super confused, and you don't know how to do anything, and so, like there's a lot of learning to do when you're past that point there. I found that can actually, I found that you learn a bunch of stuff, like pretty much what I showed you before, a bit more, of course. And then you can do a lot of stuff with it, very quickly, very soon. Of course, there's more stuff to learn, but there's not a lot more stuff to learn. So you can be productive with it really well. So this your graph shows you like all the convenience and magic and features that a library has, and how easy is something to learn. And okay, I will remember. Okay, they have a lot of stuff. They pack a lot of features, but can is close. It's not up there. It doesn't do everything that Angular does. Okay, but like the easy to learn is super easy to learn. So for me, it strikes a really good balance on something that is easy to learn and does most of the stuff you want. 80% of the stuff you need, most of the time. Another thing that I like about Can very much is that the way you already know how to do something is usually the right way in Can. So for example, in Angular, you might do something like, grab the element and with jQuery do something which you apply a plugin in Angular, right? But these guys will tell you that's not the Angular way. You should use X. You wrong. Yeah. And okay, that's fine. Yeah. And that's fine, but it takes a while to get there. In Can, you do something like this, and it's all right. Yeah. Well, then another stuff is like size. Like you see the size of the raw libraries. Okay, you see that bank one is awesome. It's pretty small, but then that's not the end of the story. You have to add all the dependencies, and you have to add underscore and set dot, and probably you want something like an engine. So you end up that Can and Backbone are really small libraries. Ember on the other hand is huge. Yeah. So that's another reason. Then you don't need to necessarily use Set or jQuery with Can. You can use Dojo, YUI, or Mood tools if you want, if that's what you use. So it works with all of this. Then when you're doing single page apps, memory leaks is a real problem. Like, especially if you have a kind of single page app that's going to stay there for a long time, that's really something that you need to think about. And good thing is that you can, as long as you follow these patterns, like of declaring events like this, it will take care of everything for you. It will take care of like unbinding stuff when you destroy a view, when you remove stuff, like when you add new items or remove items, it will just do the right thing. So that's another important reason too. Then performance. If performance is important for you, I don't think it's important for everything, but it's important for you depending on what you're doing. You can see that this one, the red one, it's really high, and that's operations per second. So it delivers really, really well compared to the others. But that's most of the time performance is not a big issue, but depends on what you're doing, of course. Now I found this on a blog not long ago. Someone went to do MVC project. Maybe you have heard of it. And they just counted all the lines of code of all this framework, like so many. And what I found very interesting is to see, to see the ones over here, like Kanye just here, Angular, really awesome too. And yes, I got, when I started using Khan, I got, like this feeling, this very succinct, like very little code. And that's really great, it's really, because like, the less code you write,
so this is you write code, not the how big Angular is. Right?
Yeah, it's all the code for the application, for the to-do MVC, for the to-do MVC application. Yeah. So I found Ember out there. I don't know what's happening with my I'll have to look at that. Yeah. And like just having the, I found that strange, but I don't know. I will look at that. So try it out. It's a really, really great library. So yeah, that's it.